There we go. Okay, two ways you can name a triangle. One way is if I give you information on their sides. Second way, if I'm given information on their angles. Most of you have probably heard, let's see, I got 7 to do. I'm going to say you've heard 6 out of the 7, maybe. Okay, so this first one here, classifying it by its sides. All 3 sides are congruent. What do I call that type of triangle here? What do we go up to here? 20, 22? Yep. There we go. There we go. 7. Equilateral. There we go. Equilateral. All 3 sides congruent. I call it equilateral. And if you don't know the name, no big deal. Equilateral, where all 3 sides are congruent. All right. Now I go to 2 sides being the same length. The third side not being 6. Okay. No problem. Here we go. Who's got 11? Isosceles. Best part about this is watching you try to spell it on a test. Isosceles. 2 congruent sides is isosceles. No sides are equal. Now, again, we don't assume anything in here. Do you see any markings? Any hash marks? No. Oh, those 2 sides look. No, they don't. Just stop right now. Stop being an embarrassment. All right? None of these sides are equal. So I call that, ooh, we got a little rough one with this one today. 16. You're darn right. In my 5th period class, I went through like 5 people who didn't know it. Then I was like, all right, forget it. It starts with an S and ends in kaline. And then, oh, scalene. I finally got it then. Okay, so those are the 3 triangles based on their side lengths. Everybody good? All right, here's the one I thought you were not going to know. By its angles, if all 3 angles are congruent, yes, you can call it equilateral because it's equilateral. If the 3 angles are equal, that means the sides are equal. But I want to go just by the angles. It's called equiangular. Usually kids get a chuckle out of that for some reason. Equiangular. Hear yourself say it, not just me. Hear yourself say it. And just as a little bonus, if it's equiangular, what do you know about all 3 angle measurements? They should be equal to 180 total. But each angle will be 60, yes. Equiangular, it's 60 degrees. I believe on your packet I have, 108 written in here? 105. Okay. You may not know this one. I don't know. 15? Who's got 15? It's okay, Grace. Ready? An angle of 105 is bigger than 90, so I call it a what angle? Obtuse. That's what I call the triangle. If it's got one obtuse angle in it, it's an obtuse triangle. Well, what about if it's got 2 obtuse angles in it? Anybody want to fill us in about that predicament? A triangle with 2 obtuse angles. Bella? It's not a triangle. It's impossible. Why? What do all 3 add up to? 180. So if you put 2 obtuse angles in there, it'll be over 180. So that'll never happen. So that's why you only need 1 to make it obtuse. We don't have to spend much time. Go, just hurry up. Just get it over with. I'm so fired up right now. Just get over. What's it going to be? And by the way, this is for period 8, no other period. Sure. I got Jeannie. Jeannie? Anybody else? Are we going with Jeannie? Yes? Okay, everyone ready? Promethean man or Jeannie? Oh, not my deal. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Naming that triangle, that is a right triangle, no big deal. And then what do I have in here? 30 and 70? 30? 70? 30? Okay, well, I can't really tell right now because I don't know what that third angle is. All right, what is the third angle, though, if I asked you to find it? 80. Okay, now what do you notice about all 3 angles? They're all less than 90, which makes it acute. Yes, so if all 3 angles are less than 90, we call it an acute triangle. Yes?
So could an equiangular triangle technically be acute triangle?
It could technically be called an acute triangle as well, yes. Other questions? You didn't think you were going to get through this easy today, did you? Professional or homegrown? Fresh cut you got there. Professional or homegrown? Okay. Professional is you went somewhere and somebody did it. Homegrown means you did it at home, either by yourself or somebody at home did it. Professional, okay. Do you approve of it? No? Why not? What's wrong with it? Okay, which I think I know the answer to my final question is, do you have any say? No, do you have it, like when you sit in it, do you have any say, or does Mom and Pa Dukes go, hey, we're doing it this way, whether he likes it or not? Well, if you had a say in it, how could it be too long? Like, I don't see, there's like a contradiction here. It's that bad? Is that, I think everybody else picked that up? He's like, you have no hope, Andrew. You might as well just shave your head and go. Why didn't you tell whoever did it, hey, it's a little too long on top? Or you didn't notice till it was too late? Okay, just. Okay. All right, whatever floats your boat. That's fine. Okay, moving on. Here we go. M is the midpoint of JL. Let's stop right there. M is the midpoint of JL. Give me a conclusion about my diagram. M is the midpoint of JL. Therefore, what's true? Who's got 4? JM, congruent to ML. Definition of a midpoint. Again, I'm only doing it this way because I want to keep you guys proving yourself. All right. Always a Y attached to every answer. Always a Y. Back yourself up. So definition of a midpoint. Got it. Okay, then knowing that, what is the value of JM and ML if they're equal to each other? Let's find that. What's the value of JM and ML? And how are you finding it? I'm not going to do it for you. 5.
Oh, is that me?
Yes. Some of us may need to get out calculators. Okay, how'd you do it, Alyssa? Yep, half of 1.5, 0.75. Got it. Everyone's good so far. What piece of information was given on the diagram already? What 2 segments were already congruent on the diagram before I did anything? Which 2 segments? Number 2?
Can you say the question?
It's just like first period. Anytime I have a single digit below 5, like I'll have to wait at least 30 seconds. All right. I want to know at the beginning, Ellie, what 2 segments were congruent? JM. No, not at the beginning. That wasn't. We had to conclude that because that was a midpoint. What on our diagram was already congruent based on the markings? Thank you. KM and ML were congruent. Yep. So we already knew KM and ML were congruent. That was given. All right. So is there anything now I can do with these 2 statements that we know JM and ML are 0.75, KM and ML are congruent to each other? We should be able to find KM is how long? KM? 3. There we go. All right. Just in case you couldn't see it. How long is KM? And what did you do to figure that out? That whole long explanation, can you turn into one word? Why? That's what I want to know. Why? There's substitution, yes. Okay, so going back to the diagram, we found out that this was 0.75, KM was 0.75. What type of triangle is JKM? Make sure you get the right triangle. Bless you. Get the right triangle, JKM. 12?
It is equilateral.
Because?
All of the sides are equal.
Thank you. Triangle JKM is equilateral because all 3 sides are congruent. or equal, doesn't matter. Okay, everybody good there? Just backing yourselves up. I just want to keep with the vocabulary because we're not doing any proofs for a while, until Friday anyway, or Thursday. So everyone all good? Okay, moving on. Example 2, you got an isosceles triangle now. I marked the two sides that are congruent. By the way, anytime they tell you a triangle is isosceles, they should provide the two congruent sides. All right, that should not be up to you. They should provide the two congruent sides, which they do here. So I want to find the side lengths of all three. Oh, one embarrassing moment any honors kid could have is the following, and I see this at least once every year, and that is saying the following. Oh, 9x minus 1 plus 5x minus a half plus 4x plus 1 equals 180. Oh, really? The sides add up to be 180. That's embarrassing, because what adds up to being 180? The angle. So don't tell me the sides add up to 180, please. All right, so if I can't say all three add up to 180, what equation can I form that solves for x? 5. Oh, so you're telling me I don't have to involve 9x minus 1. Oh. I'm still going to use it in a minute, but not in the equation. Everyone good why I set it up that way? Set the two congruent sides equal to each other. And we'll get x equals, move everything around for me. And we end up with 6. 1.5, good. Oh, some of you butchered this on the quiz. Is that what I'm looking for? No, please read the problem over carefully. Answer what is being asked. Not x, but each side. So we're going to have to do a little plug and chug here to find AC, to find BC, and to find AB. And AC 4 times 1.5 plus 1. BC 5 times 1.5, 0.5, AB 9 times 1. And hopefully 2 of your answers come out to be the same because this is isosceles. I hope. Not that funny. 3.
So first AC is 7. Second AC 7.
Isosceles, there it is. What is it?
I haven't gotten there yet.
9 times 1.5 is 13.5. I'll give you that. Oh, good job. Any issues with those 3? Before we get to this last one, I got a couple extra questions here. One being, did they use scissors? Or did they need to go weed whacker on that thing? Scissors. I thought they might have just brought out the heavy, because we remember what that thing looked like before. And don't think I didn't notice, Zach. Professional, homegrown. Very professional. Sorry. I didn't ask for the extra info, but okay. Are you approving?
Yeah, since it was so big, you gotta get it pretty short, and then it'll grow out again.
That's usually how hair does. Yep. And I think all of us are in agreement. That's how hair goes in life. Okay. And do you have a say in the style and how short or how long?
Yes.
You do? Okay. So you approved?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Looks good. Questions? Any other questions here? Okay, we got one more to go here. It's been fun here, and I think maybe for some of you, there's your genie. The fun may stop right now. We'll see. I want to know what type of triangle DEF is, and before you tell me what type of triangle, I want you to find the measures of the sides. And why in the world did he provide a graph? You'll see. So if you wouldn't mind getting DEF down on your graph. This is painful for me to watch sometimes because how do I graph a coordinate again? Remember, x value comes first, y value comes second. All right, well, we know you can't look at it and say, oh, it's isosceles. I don't think so. You have nothing to back yourself up with. But I do ask for the side lengths. So is there anything we have in our arsenal of geometric tools that can find the length of a line segment? And you have to go all the way back to Unit 1. What did we use? What did I provide you guys that found the length of a line segment? Not a line, because that's impossible to find, but a line segment. I provided you guys with an important tool that we're going to keep using this year. One.
Make like the dotted line going up, you make a right triangle.
So you want to use Pythagorean theorem. That's one way. Okay, is what he's saying is, hey, if you want to find the length of DF here, make a right triangle out of it, count the legs, and do Pythag. Okay? Anybody remember the alternative I gave? Pythag or, Alyssa? The distance formula. Oh, yes, the distance formula, which is, let's just review that real quick. Big square root. I remember there was parentheses, and I think you squared them. And you're correct, but I need your help filling in all the missing parts now. What's missing up here that should be filled in correctly? Mike?
X1 minus X2.
And again, the order does not matter because you're going to end up squaring them. So if I have x's here, obviously in the other parentheses are going to go the y coordinates. And anybody remember the sign that, or the operation that separated them? Because we're not multiplying. It is addition, yes. So here's what you and your group are going to do in the next 5 minutes. You are going to, and I don't care how you do it, Pythag or distance, you're going to find me the length of DE, DF, and EF, all three sides. And since we're in what class? Honors, your answers will be left in simplest radical form, little SRF. Okay, so if you're having issues with that, call me over, please. So go ahead, about 5 minutes, DE, DF, and EF. Put it in simplest radical form if possible. No, we're not. I'll just call on a number, and then you let me know what you and your group decided on. So let's start with DE, the length of DE in simplest radical form if possible. Okay, let's do this. Who's got 4? 4? Good. Radical 113, because you have 8 squared and 7 squared underneath the radical, which ended up being 64 and 49, which is, yes, 113, and you cannot break that down. That's simplified as much as it can go. DF, what are we looking at for DF?
May I have your attention,
Oh, we're going.
please?
14.
Due to a continuing problem with Yellow Jackets in the auditorium, tonight's concert is canceled. A decision regarding any rescheduling will be announced as soon as possible. Again, tonight's concert is canceled. Thank you.
There you go, guys. All right, back to you. DF. Let's finish strong here, guys. DF. 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 Yep, 3 radical 5. Everyone, take a look. DF. 6 squared plus 3 squared. And that came out to be the square root of 45, which will break down into 3 radical 5. And then EF. Hold on. EF, who's got 8. Okay, we got 10 squared and 2 squared. Came out to be the square root of 104, which does break down into 2 radical 26. One more question for you. Who's got 3? What type of triangle is DEF? Okay, because, always back yourself up. No sides are congruent. Due on Wednesday, the assignment. Due on Wednesday. Get ready for the test tomorrow.